alongside Martin Biron. Marty, positive vibes in Edmonton right now. McDavid, Ekholm, Walden, all signed. But Marty, the goalie tandem of Skinner and Pickard, a duo that finished 19th in save percentage last season, is still the same. Do you trust Skinner and Pickard, or is this something that has to be addressed midseason?
Something that has to be addressed. I'm not trusting. Look, they are goalies that have had success. Obviously, they've gone to back-to-back Stanley Cups and, pushed it to Game 7 2 years ago. But I think that for the better part of last year, we already knew that the Oilers needed to go in a different direction. They didn't do it. They didn't address it. They didn't address it this year. So I'm not really high on that tandem simply because it's trending the wrong way. Like Stuart Skinner was a .914 save percentage 3 years ago, 2 years ago, 905 last year, and 896. Like, that is trending the wrong way. And despite the fact that Calvin Pickard was unbeatable pretty much in the playoffs last year, his save percentage was 886. So you're looking at it and you're saying, this is not because goaltending was a strength of your team. This is because other parts like Connor McDavid and Draisaitl and the rest of the gang were playing better despite your goaltending. So I think if you want to give the Oilers a chance, and the Oilers are not as good as a team right now as they were last year. They lost a lot of parts. They're not even as good as they were 2 years ago. They are going to have to fill in with some youth, some inexperience. I think your goaltending has to be better. So I'll give them the first 2 weeks. I'm not giving them a month. I'm not giving them 2 months. I'm giving them 2 weeks to show me that I'm wrong. But if not, something's got to happen. You got to go quick, like Colorado did last year with Georgiev.
Oiler fans right now are saying, yeah, Marty, thanks, Tips. We got to upgrade the goaltending. But how? How do they do it? What do you see as a move they could make to upgrade in net?
Well, obviously, you got to keep an eye on the waiver wire. Like, there is going to be some goaltenders that maybe, and the waiver wire is not going to shock your world. But look, Pittsburgh, they made a move for Shilovs, and he's their starter, and he played on Tuesday night and had a shutout. There is some really good goalies out there that you can look for. And also, the biggest thing is look for teams in the first 2-3 weeks of the season that you can basically write off their seasons right away. There is going to be some teams that will not be in the conversation. And if it's Chicago and San Jose and maybe the Flyers or whatnot, look for those teams to maybe want to move one of their goalies and look for the future. So that's what Colorado did with Mackenzie Blackwood like last year with San Jose. You have to do the same if you're the Oilers right now.
The Oilers play the Flames tonight. Calgary is big on recently extended Dustin Wolf, obviously, but they've got no real answer behind him in net. Career minor leaguer Devin Cooley has a grand total of 6 NHL games to his credit. Do the Flames need to make a move in net?
They need to definitely upgrade. And obviously, Devin Cooley is a great guy, and he's been really good at the AHL level. But you talk about the lack of NHL experience, especially when you have such a young goaltender like Dustin Wolf. And Prosvetov, they signed him thinking, oh, maybe we're going to have him as a backup, and he is going to go the AHL side. So obviously, I look at the calendar and I'm like, okay, what's the Flames schedule in the first month of the season? Well, they have 12 games in October and 2 back-to-backs in the first 5 games of the season. Back-to-back Wednesday, Thursday, and again next week. So you're going to have to use both netminders. If your schedule was easier and you say we can roll Dustin Wolf out there and play him a lot early in the season and we'll adjust if we have to, then I would say I'm fine with that. But right now, you're going to have to use Devin Cooley. You're going to have to use a backup goaltender in the first couple of weeks. And that may not be good for the Flames. That they need to get to a good start because that Western Conference is going to be tight again this year. And we all saw what happened last year. They didn't make it. They would have made it with one more point, but they didn't. The backup goaltender cannot cause the Flames a playoff spot this year.
Wolf started 53 games as a rookie last season. Cooley didn't play a single game at the NHL level last season.